Hallo zusammen! Today I'm gonna react to Lifey's video, The Truth About Living in Germany, an American's Point of View, learning more about foreigners' experiences in other countries, cultures, and whatnot. So, I'm German, I run a channel about the German language and culture on YouTube here, which is called German with Vlog Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. But I'm also interested in learning more about how other people experience life in Germany, in my native country that is, right? So, that is why I'm reacting to those videos and give my German perspective on things. So, let's go.
So when I landed in Germany, I remember the first thing that was kind of a shock was hopping on a train. I had never been on a train. Now it seems really normal, but I hopped on a train, went through the beautiful countrysides of Germany.
So we have several different types of trains in Germany. By the way, it's der Zug, singular, die Züge, plural, with an Ü, the umlaut Ü. So it's Züge. We have usual regional trains. You can have them in many different colors. There are many different companies that run them. Maybe you've heard of Die Deutsche Bahn, the German train. That is pretty much the literal translation of that. And what's special about that one is, even though it's a private company in a way, in a legal way, it's still owned by the German state. And those trains are usually red when it comes to regional trains and white when it comes to the fast express kind of trains, right? But you can also have many other regional trains and train companies running them, and they might have different colors ranging from blue to yellow. For German trains that ride to huge, large cities on their route, it's usually common to have them as Doppeldecker, der Doppeldeckerzug.
I hopped on a train, went through the beautiful countrysides of Germany down to a little city called Marana. And I remember being kind of shocked at how small it was and that we had a car.
Yeah, so that is something that you can certainly dislike about little German towns, is that they might have a train station, but just a tiny little one, if any at all. It's really important to have a car when it comes to German villages, especially, and really little towns, because public transportation in Germany is quite well developed when you go to bigger German cities. But when it comes to, you know, little villages, you might have, for instance, in really, really tough cases, you might have one bus in the morning and the next one late in the evening. And that's it. By the way, sometimes we have really, really tiny villages and towns. For instance, where I live in the Sauerland region, which is a really beautiful region, by the way, with lots of nature and all that kind of stuff, there are certain villages that even are named Dreihausen, for instance, which basically translates to something like 3 housings or 3 houses. That basically tells you everything you need to know.
And then there were little tiny things that were shocking to me. I mean, just for the fun of saying what they were, there was like a light switch. They're not like switches, they're kind of like pads.
Yeah, that is very common in Germany. You may find the typical switches, the more smaller switch type of things for light switches in Germany, but they aren't really common or that common in comparison. We usually have bigger switches, so that is pretty much the most common thing in Germany in terms of light switches. By the way, it's der Lichtschalter, singular, die Lichtschalter, plural, the light switch.
There's like a light switch. They're not like switches, they're kind of like pads. So you hit a whole entire pad. Or the pillows, they're not rectangle, they're squares, and they're
okay. I mean, you can also find rectangle pillows in Germany, which by the way is das Kissen, singular, die Kissen, plural, the pillow. It's true though, Germans usually have square pillows. We just love us some square pillows.
There are windows. They don't open up and down or side to side. They tip in and out, and they open kind of like a door.
That is something that I also mentioned in the reaction to Nalf and his brother being in Germany for the first time, because there was a scene in that vlog where he actually had to open the window auf Kipp, as we say in German, which basically means tilted a little bit, not fully open. And that is very common in Germany. And by the way, those German windows also have a distinct term that refers to them, which is das Kippfenster, the tilt window or the tilting window. So they're just so common. You will find them everywhere in Germany, believe me. Also, something worth noting here is that when you want to open German windows, you have to open them inwards. There might be windows with that possibility, but usually it's you opening windows to the inside.
And they open kind of like a door. So there's a lot of little differences like that. Our apartment had our washer and dryer in the kitchen. And then I thought that was just our apartment. And then I realized a lot of apartments are like that. So
it's true, many German apartments have those washers, which would be the washing machine, or in German, die Waschmaschine, and the dryer, in German, der Trockner, literal translation, by the way, in the kitchen, which is die Küche, singular, die Küchen, plural, the kitchen. But many houses also have them in the basement. So both things do exist. For instance, I don't have a dryer. I have the washing machine in my kitchen, which is totally common, but there are many other German houses or flats where it's different as well. So, and also in certain German houses owned by a family, meaning das Familienhaus, a family house, a family building, you might even have a distinct room for those types of things, for, ironing clothes and stuff like that, for washing machines. And that kind of room is usually called der Hauswirtschaftsraum, the house economy room, translated literally. I hope you found this interesting and helpful. If you did, feel free to let me know by leaving a like, by sharing the video with others. That also helps a great deal. Make sure to check out the video description with many interesting links to my socials and support options for the channel. Thanks so much for doing that in advance. That means a whole lot to me, so thank you. Dankeschön. And thanks for watching. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.